This will be a summary of John chapter 17, verses 24 through 26, the last part of John chapter 17. I'll be reading out of the Passion Translation. And just as a reminder, this is what Jesus was praying for his disciples, and this is before he was even betrayed and crucified. Jesus prayed, "Father, I ask that you allow everyone that you have given me to be with me where I am. Then they will see my full glory, the very splendor that you have placed upon me because you have loved me even before the beginning of time. You are my righteous Father, but the unbelieving world has never known you in the perfect way that I know you. And all those who believe in me also know that you have sent me. I have revealed to them who you are, and I will continue to make you even more real to them, so that they may experience the same endless love that you have for me. For your love will now live in them, even as I live in them." We talked about what Jesus was thinking and praying for us. We had learned in the last section that Jesus said, in fact, let me open it up here. Jesus said in verse 20, "I ask not only for these disciples that were standing in front of him while he was praying, but also for all those who will one day believe in me through their message." That's us. So Jesus is praying this prayer for us, that we would be with him. And we talked about the word "with" there in verse 24. It means with, of course, it means in the company, even if coming after. And so when Jesus picked that word to use, he was not only meaning that he's wanting us to be unified and going in the same direction as he is, but also that he is excited about the time when we will all actually be physically together, even those of us, several thousand years later after his sacrifice, because we will be united in him and with him. In verse 25, we talked about the unbelieving world does not know God. This is the same word that is in Matthew chapter 7, verse 23, when Jesus said, "Depart from me, I never knew you." It's the same Greek word for knowing. And so we talked about also that in verse 25, it talks about unbelievers do not know and believers do know. So there's something where knowing and believing it's like we know God because we believe in God, and our belief in God helps us to be able to know him better, and it's just like this cycle. And we also talked about verse 26. Jesus revealed who God was and continues to make God even more real to us. And of course, when Jesus was praying this, he was anticipating that he knew in the future, in the near future, the Holy Spirit would be living in believers. But at the point that Jesus was praying this, Holy Spirit was not living in believers continuously. And so when Jesus was talking about that Jesus revealed who God was, because Holy Spirit was not yet given to them to reveal to them who God was, and also that Jesus had come to make God even more real, to show his endless love and for his love to live in them. So as Jesus, who is the living word, was speaking out God's words to the disciples, it was almost like a seed that was planted inside of them, where it was growing and growing this love and this knowledge of God inside of them. And that Jesus was also, he was anticipating and he was praying into the fact that, even generations and generations later, and especially through the empowerment of Holy Spirit, but that Jesus was acknowledging the fact that we were going to be, as we are knowing of our relationship with him, not just knowing him in our head, but as we are living out this relationship with him, that God is in us through Holy Spirit, and also that Jesus' words are in us, and that this grows and develops our understanding and our relationship and our fellowship with him. And this is something that Jesus was excited about and was actually praying over us about. So we are excited to continue learning and studying. We have finished John chapter 17, and we will be starting on a new chapter in the next Women's Bible Study. See you then.